without a doubt. He will go down in the annals of history, probably, as the greatest wrestler of all time. Talking about Hulk Hogan. Yes, you have to give credit where credit is due. At one time, Hulk Hogan was the man in the WWF and WWE. And for a long time, he ruled the spotlight for over 40 years. Hulk Hogan is being called out after he botched Shelton Benjamin's name on Indisputable. Dr. Richey and Jason White, they talk about it. Why don't you check out this video? And no, I do not get any money from these videos. I post them and talk about them because it's relevant, it's important, and as I say, my channel is quote-unquote FUBU, for us, by us. Check it out.
Black wrestlers call out Hulk Hogan for racism and lying. You heard it. Here it is.
Really crazy wrestlers. Like I got Brock Lesnar right after he left the UFC. I got him first. I got Kurt Angle when his eyeballs used to roll back like a shark and he'd come after me. Benjamin Shelton, Benjamin Shelton, Benjamin Shelton. All these different guys that I've had the opportunity to see adapt to our business.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. His name is actually Shelton Benjamin, not Benjamin Shelton, Hulkster. And the current AEW Tag Team Champion has choice words for Hulk Hogan. Benjamin will post on X message to Hulk Hogan, "You lost me forever with your don't get caught," or as you would call it, apology speech. So rather than screw up my name and pretend we ever had any sort of camaraderie, which we never had, please do me a favor and keep my name out of your effing mouth.
If you value living alone, you need one of these little devices.
Just when it's getting good. Skip, let's go back. That was a good line. I like that.
Called it apology speech. So rather than screw up my name and pretend we ever had any sort of camaraderie, which we never had, please do me a favor and keep my name out of your effing mouth. Damn, this is not the W, whatever the hell it was. This is a whole new day, Hulk. You better be careful what you say about these young Thundercats, sir. All right. Wrestler. I don't know. It's a hell of a story, though. Just bear with me. A wrestler and Benjamin's colleague, MVP, in response to mispronouncing of his friend's name multiple times in interviews, called Hogan a, quote, pathological lying piece of human excrement. Whoa. Benjamin clarified later, quote, "It amazes me that some people really think botching my name is what set me off. Wrong." He was likely talking about when the WWE announced in 2018 that Hulk Hogan was being welcomed back into his Hall of Fame after terminating his contract in 2015. The Hall of Fame features more than 100 wrestlers and people associated with the world of wrestling, including U.S. President Donald Trump. In 2015, it came out that he had said, quote, "I guess we're all a little racist," and used the N-word repeatedly while referring to his daughter's love life. We all remember that. The apology Benjamin was referring to, Hulk Hogan explained how he apologized to the WWE locker room for audio that captured him using the N-word years ago. Hogan said he began his nervous address to the current WWE roster ahead of July pay-per-view event Extreme Rule with a simple quote, "Thank you guys for the time." The first thing sorry, man. You know that's exactly what he did. That's exactly how he did it, too. We already know this. The first thing I want to tell you guys, 12 years ago, I said something. About 3 years ago, it came to light. And I want to apologize for everything I said. I could give you the woe is me story. I could tell you all the things, all the reasons why I was in that space I was in. Very dark space. But everybody's got a woe me story. Everybody's got an excuse. But the truth is, I said these things 12 years ago, and I didn't even know that they were said until 3 years ago, because that's when they came out. He continued the month ago mea culpa. I can't remember what I said last weekend, let alone 12 years ago. Maybe you guys can, but I can't. And when I said it, I was in a fit of anger. But I did say it. I'm accountable. That's not who I am. Bad. I would be mad as hell. I understand, Benjamin. I understand, brother. He said he really didn't remember saying it. Then he said he does. And he was just in a bad place. But that's not who he is. Quote, that's not how I feel. That's not how I believe. But the one thing I would tell you is when I said it, I was very, very mad. Very, very mad at a situation. But I did say it. It was inappropriate. It was out of context. It was hurtful. It was unacceptable. And I did it. I apologize. If you guys could ever forgive me, I would be forever grateful. The WWE's the biggest spotlight in the world. And if you're a little teeny star, don't even slip on a banana peel when you're a little star here, because you're in the spotlight. Try not to make any mistakes like I made, kids. I added the kids at the end because basically he has now transformed into the guru. There's another quote. It gets better. But
let me just jump in here real quick and say this. This is not about Terry Bollea's politics. Terry Bollea, the man, and Hulk Hogan are two different people. I don't care if he's a Republican, a Democrat, or independent socialist. That's not what this is about. His politics is his politics. Everybody has a right to support whatever candidate or candidates that they choose to. And I've said on this program many times before, Donald Trump won the election. Kudos to him. I have a problem with him being president. As a matter of fact, a lot of things that he says, I agree with. A lot of things that Trump says, I don't agree with. And I agree, America has got to get back on track. There's no issue about that. There's no debate about that. We got to be a strong, solid nation, point blank. Is he good for America? Yeah, he's good for America. So this is not about the presidency. And this is not about Hulk Hogan's politics. Shelton Benjamin has a right to say what he wants to say if he believes he wants to correct the record regarding something. You all weren't in the WWE. I wasn't in the WWE. He knows this man. You all don't know him. I don't know him. This is news. So when you all come on this channel, stop taking everything personally. This is not personal. I'm a journalist. I'm a commentator. I'm a serious law student on the way to becoming a criminal justice attorney. So let's just get it straight. This is not personal. This is business over here. Okay? This is business on this channel. They got enough channels out here that deal with stupidity, buffoonery, and ignorance all day and all night. This is not one of them. Over here, everything is factual. It's backed up by irrefutable, solid evidence.
well, you're a big star. But when you're a big star here and you make a mistake, the whole world is going to know, he continued. You'll be on the front page of every newspaper, every magazine, just like it happened to me. I made a mistake. And this machine is so big, the WWE's made me such a big star that everybody knows what's going on. So please be careful because people have cell phones and cameras. Just be careful. That is the worst racist apology I have ever recited on this show. And believe me, we have recited some horrible racism apologies. Benjamin was working for the WWE at the time of that non-apology. Could have actually heard it firsthand. At the time, wrestler and current WWE Tag Team Champion Kofi Kingston posted on Twitter speaking for his tag team, quote, "We are only writing this simply to provide an answer to the many who have bombarded us with questions on where we stand on the issue." The note reads, "The team said they weren't happy about the decision, nor are they sad or angry or resentful. Quote, who WWE puts into the Hall of Fame is totally and completely up to the company. On a personal level," the statement continued, "when someone makes racist and hateful comments about any race or group of people, especially to the degree that Hogan made about our people, we find it difficult to simply forget, regardless of how long ago it was or the situation in which those comments were made." WWE wrestler Titus O'Neil shared a statement following Kofi's message, saying that he's, quote, "a proponent of second and even third chances for individuals that show true remorse." The Hulk's apology that he didn't know he was being recorded is not remorse for the hateful and violent utterances he made, which reprise language that has caused violence against blacks and minorities for centuries. I'm just happy somebody called out the fact that he kind of blamed the recording on the situation rather than himself. I am very glad someone called it out specifically in the industry. But since then, last year, influencer
9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra for 7.
We not letting that commercial come out.
Influencer Essence G9. Remember this? We covered this. Made an allegation against Hogan that she was fired from her position as a brand ambassador for Hogan's Real American Beer due to her being black. Hogan also advocated for Donald Trump, joked about body slamming the vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris, and made fun of her Indian heritage, along with other very vulgar jokes. It seems like his racism is still alive and well. And he don't give a damn about cameras or recordings, at least not today. All right, so that's the full story. Jackson, the Hulkster.
A Hulkster, this what he does. And, it's that definitely probably, and like you said, y'all read a whole lot of racist apologies on this show. This is half of what we do here. That was definitely one of the worst ones because he was like running around in circles without even actually acknowledging what he did in the first place. Well, there's a lot of cameras around, so, just if you're going to do that, just make sure you take everybody's cell phones first before you have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? But again, this goes back to kind of what we talked about in a previous story about the ability to take accountability and people being able to give you grace. Because as his brother said, I'm willing to give people second, third chances if they're truly remorseful, if I feel like I can work with it. But Hulk, he's just like, nah, it's just the cameras. It's not me. I don't need to do no changing. I don't need to take no accountability for nothing. And, again, it's not like this is a one-off or something that's only happened a couple of times. Hulk Hogan has been getting caught up in stuff like this for years and years. And he's never made any real attempts to have empathy with the rest of the world or to gain any real insight into himself. So that's why he continues to find himself in this same position because he won't change.
That's right. And you got to think about this, man. Do you really believe at his age he wants to still wrestle? He wants to sell beer. He doesn't want to still work. But his career is limited. It's restricted. And he's still working because he's broke, according to him. And he's had a lot of dysfunction, not only from himself personally, but also around him. But a lot of this is attributed to his own bias, bigotry, and racism. He's limited his own career. There was a time this cat had a potential movie career. He had a hit series, a weekend show, cartoons made in his image. And now he's on Donald Trump's lackey.
All right, I'm going to close out this segment by saying this. Nobody knows, especially in the early days of professional wrestling, what black wrestlers went through. The segregation, the bigotry, the outright racism, the alienation from the locker room, being underpaid. And it wasn't until white promoters, especially those down in the South, understood the importance of black dollars. That's why they changed their policy. It was all about getting that black money. And in every regional promotion back then, they had one black star that they always promoted. JYD Junkyard Dog was in the Mid-South. And even Vince McMahon, with his antics, racism and bigotry, because he's a racist and he's a bigot as well. Yeah, tell it the way it is. I don't care. He would not allow Tony Atlas, who should have been the heavyweight champion many times over. Why did it take to 1979 to have black people have the tag team championship belts, then take it from them in less than a year later? So when black wrestlers start speaking their minds, leave them alone. They have a right to speak about whatever they choose to. And when it comes to second and third chances, nobody is condemning and damning Hogan to hell. Nobody. If the man's remorseful, he deserves a second or third chance or whatever it is. You know, there was a time when I thought Hulkamania, brother, was a cool thing. Never surrender. Never quit.